Alright, y'all, we're going to continue on with the mid-unit 2 study guide. We're going to try to do problems 5 through 8. So when we look at problem number 5, we're solving the system by graphing. As you can see, we're given a graph and we're given two equations. This one is in slope-intercept form. This one is in standard form. So let's go and start with the first one. Remember, when it's in slope-intercept form, it's the easiest way to graph it. Just know that this first point, I'm going to slide it down so I can write it a little bit above it. There we go. We know that this is y equals mx plus b, and we know our b is our y-intercept. So we know -1 is the y-intercept. So I'm going to put a dot at -1. And we know that the number in front of x is our slope. So the number in front of x is imaginary 1, which means our slope is 1 over 1. So we're going to rise 1, run 1. Put a dot, rise 1, run 1. And it's always good to just continue the pattern, because it helps you realize that in order to go the other way, you just do the opposite. You go back and down, back and down. And it's always good to use a ruler. So I'm going to take out my ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you just use a straight edge. Any type of straight edge that you can have. And then you just draw your line. So I'm going to go ahead and put my arrows at the end because it is a line that goes on forever. I'm going to label it y equals x minus 1. Good habit to label your graph, especially when you're doing systems. Let's go on to the next equation, which is this one. -2x plus y is equal to 2. For this is in standard form, so it's probably best to find the x and y-intercept. So remember, to find the y-intercept, we plug in 0 for x. So when we plug in 0 for x, we have -2 times 0. So we're left with y is equal to 2. So for those of you who aren't sure what I really did, if I want to find the y-intercept, it's going to be hard for me to write on that side. So let me put this right here. There we go. So if I want to find the y-intercept, we know x is equal to 0. So we take our equation, -2x plus y is equal to 2. So I just rewrote this equation. And everywhere x is, I'm going to put 0. So we're left with -2 times 0 plus y is equal to 2. And we know 0 times that is 0. So all we're left with is y is equal to 2. So we know we have the ordered pair 0, 2. X, y. X is 0, y is 2. So on our graph, we can plot 0, 2. It's our y-intercept. So we go to our y and we go to 2. And we can do the same thing to find the x-intercept. The only difference with the x-intercept is that y is equal to 0. So I'm going to rewrite the equation. We have -2x plus y is equal to 2. This time y is equal to 0, so we plug in 0 right there. So we're left with 2x plus 0 is equal to 2. So essentially all we have left is -2x on this side and 2. And then we divide both sides by -2. And we get x is equal to -1. So now we have the ordered pair -1, 0. X and y. X was -1. Y was 0. So this is our x-intercept. So we have the ordered pair -1, 0, which is right there. Cool. So now I'm going to draw those lines. And I'm hoping that you can tell what the slope is. We went up 2 and over 1. So that means we need to go down 2 over 1. Down 2 over 1. So it's going to cross right at that point. I'm going to go to label it negative 2x plus y is equal to 2. And then we have to find the approximate intersection point. So where do they cross? And when we look at it, we can see that it crosses right here. And that point, we always write our x first, and then our y. So our x is negative 3. So we have negative 3. And then our y is negative 4. And that's our intersection. That's solving the system by graphing. So let's go on to problem number 6. So on problem number 6 is a word problem. So in this word problem, it says you buy 7 bags of gummy bears and 3 bags of chocolate, and your total is $22. Your friend buys 3 bags of gummy bears and a bag of chocolate, and her total is 8. This problem, if you read it, and if you think back to in class, this is one of the easy problems, because hopefully you can see what the two variables are. Remember in class, we always have to create our let statements where we have to define what our two variables are. So I'm going to write my let statement. And what are the two variables you think we have in this problem? A good hint, if you're stuck, if you look the last question, typically the last question will help you figure out what your variables are. And when we look at it, it says, what is the price of a bag of gummy bear and a bag of chocolate? So the gummy bear, the price of the gummy bear, and the price of the chocolate is going to be our let statement. So I'm going to call G, and let's have C. So we have G and we have C. So G stands for price of gummy bears. And C stands for price of chocolate. Cool. And so now we can actually create our equation. When we read the first sentence, it says 7 bags of gummy bears. So 7 G, because that's the price. 7 times the price. If they're $1, and they're $1 each, it'll be $7 total. And going back to here, 3 bags of chocolate. So 3 C, and my total is $22. Now I go on to the next sentence. It says your friend buys 3 bags of gummy bears. So 3G. And a bag of chocolate. A bag stands for how many? 1. That is correct. So 1C. And that's equal to 8, because that's our total. So now we can see what our two equations are. So from here, we can solve it. You can use any method. Me personally, I would probably use elimination, because as you can see, everything lines up. So I'm going to multiply the second equation by 3. So I end up with 9G plus 3C, 3 times 8. And I'm going to rewrite this one underneath it. So this one, I'm going to bring it down. This was this one. So we have 7G plus 3C equals 22. And then to get a positive 3 and a positive 3 to become 0, we have to subtract. So now when we look at it, 9 minus 7 is 2G. 3 minus 3 is 0. And 24 minus 22 is 2. So now we just divide everything by 2. And we get G is equal to 1. So I'm going to put a G here. And I'm going to put a 1 here. So we know that's the gummy bear. And now all we have to do is figure out the cost of the chocolate. So for the chocolate, we have to choose one of these two equations and substitute in the 1. So I'm going to choose the second equation before we multiply. So I'm going to have 3G plus C is equal to 8. And I'm going to substitute that in. So we have 3 times 1 plus C is equal to 8. And 3 times 1 is 3 plus C is equal to 8. And then we just subtract 3 on both sides. And we can see that C is equal to 5. So we know the price of a bag of chocolate is $5. I'm going to put 5 and I'm going to put a C here. Now the actual question, it says, what is the price of a bag of gummy bears and a bag of chocolate? It says one bag of gummy bears is $1 and one bag of chocolate is $5. So that means the price is $6. And that's your answer. I'm going to go ahead and stop with number 6, and if you want to continue on, just tune in to the next video.